Good day once again, my honorable school owners and admins. I really appreciate your followership. Thank you for joining this class once again. I'm glad you have been following this series right from part 1 till this part, which is part 3. We've been talking about 15 reasons why parents change their children's schools and what you should do to avoid population decrease, because many times as you are trying to increase your population, you should also try to block the loopholes through which you lose children and you lose parents, through which your population decrease. And in this part now, I'm going to be talking about something very, very important. In the first part, I talked about school fees affordability. In the second part, I talked about creating a good match between what you deliver, what you charge and what you discharge as a school. I also talked about many other things. In this particular class, I'm going to be talking about the subtopic, how to ensure maximum cooperation of your school's reception, gatekeepers, and inquiry desks. In other words, in how to ensure maximum cooperation, productive cooperation of your school's gatekeepers, reception officers, front desk, so that you will not lose parents unnecessarily. Now, I'd like you to follow me very closely tonight. Let me begin with this true story. It actually happened to me. Some months ago, I was invited by the owners of a school to discuss issues about the school's implementation of many of our SOF strategies. The school is quite big and popular among many other schools of their kind. They were so excited to have me obliged to that visit. They've attended our trainings and meetings. I got there, of course, right on time that day with my team, and I had put a call across to notify the owners of the school of my arrival. I'm talking about the director and the proprietress. We instructed to approach the front desk to lead us in. Apparently, instructions had also been given to the front desk officers about how to receive us. Now, the front desk officer was rather cold. She chewed her gum confidently and wore a face with no smiles at all. She was seriously expecting that much talked about Mr. David Adeniji, who had an appointment with the directors. Only she didn't know I was the one before her already. She apparently was expecting a pot-bellied, business-looking man with many people following him. I only went there with my PA and one other fellow. Alas, while we waited for minutes, still obeying her instructions and explaining ourselves, and she's still trying to figure out why we came, her phone rang. She picked it. Then it dawned on her I was the Mr. Adeniji they had been expecting. You could see her disappointment in herself. That was after we had explained and explained and explained. The point I'm trying to make is this. Many times the attitude put up by our gatekeepers, and I'm going to tell you who gatekeepers are. By gatekeepers, I'm not talking about security men alone. They are included. I'm talking about your security people, your front desk, your secretary, even your principal, your head teacher, the people whom people are going to see before they see you. So who are your gatekeepers? It is rather unfortunate that the offices we esteem less are the main determiners of the school's fortune. They are the ones that determine how many parents will come, how many of them will stay, and how many of the existing ones will continue staying or will leave. Gatekeepers are the employees you have positioned for people to see before they see you or have anything to do with the school. They include security guards and the front desk receptionist, as you may call it, or your secretary if you like, your principal, your head teacher, head of school, and all of these people who are being saddled with the responsibility of guarding the integrity of your school before people see you. Now, I've seen always that this set of people often determine the fortunes of the school, as they are the faces people contact first. As a matter of fact, they are the same faces that your existing parents see every day on daily basis. Many times you don't even see you, the school owner. New parents see them first, and existing parents will either endure and enjoy them every day. They may or may not be representing you well, but there's nothing you can do about it if you don't know. If you fail to put your best foot forward, you may never have the second chance to make the first impression. Now, let me start from the first layer. Layer 1. The first layer are your security guards. I'm always disappointed sometimes. I'm particularly disappointed at many of us on the kind of attitudes put up by our security guards. They are the very first layer of gatekeepers in your school. At times, they give off unnecessary information about you so cheaply. Many times, they think their defense is in how hard they can look. This lecture is just timely because I know that by now you are warming up, your gates are open, are getting ready to be open for new enrollment in the next session. People will come to your school for the very first time and they will begin to form an opinion of who you are right from the gate. Existing parents are already forming an opinion of what your school represents because the image portrayed by these gatekeepers will go a long way to determine whether or not they want to continue doing business with you or not. From my research over the last decade or more, I realized that top of the reasons why parents change their children's schools is not even really about academics. Many times they are okay with your academics. Many times they are not okay with the conduct of your gatekeepers. And that is why you may be losing children or parents unnecessarily. Your security guards may not be as academically qualified as the teachers I know. But did you tell them that smiling, for instance, is the biggest attribute of gatekeepers? You got them, of course, maybe on contract from a security company. But I tell you, they may not know much about the etiquette of a school support staff because they are also support staffs. You need to teach them a thing or two about how to create a lasting first impression and how to keep creating new impressions and very good impressions on your visitors and even on your existing customers, and a continuous happy impression on your existing parents. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Again, one thing that disappoints me is the appearance of both the guards and their security rooms. Except you are thinking that department doesn't matter. Their post, that small room where people fill a logbook when they enter the school, should be nicely kept and arranged like the reception itself. At the least, it shouldn't be dirty or unkempt. It is an indication of your attention to detail and culture of excellence and your care for your existing parents. Now, you need to tell them that school business is image business, and that in business, perception sometimes comes first. Of course, perception always comes first before reality, but sometimes perception overrides reality. People look at you for the first time and form an opinion even when you don't have the opportunity to defend yourself. Now, your security guards may not speak Queen's English, I know, but please ensure they speak English and not their dialects. I remember one of my biggest SF ambassadors tell me how she taught her security guard to answer greetings with the right diction. It may sound funny, but guess what? His good morning afterwards came with a rather unusual phonics intonation, and his manner of welcoming people earned him the largest portion of gifts from parents at visiting day. So convert your security guards. They already have security training, I know, but you should give them attitude training. You should teach them how not to chase away parents who are already happy with the school. You should teach them how to calm down people who are angry with one thing or the other that the school is doing. You should tell them that they play a big role in ensuring how many children will remain in the school. Now, this applies to your drivers, your bus assistants, and other support staffs that you may have. In this class, I'm trying to show you that how many children will remain in your school is a function of the attitude and the cooperation of your front desk officers, of your support staff, of your gatekeepers generally. Now, you may call for our training on non-academic staff education and ethics. It's a training for support staff, a training for drivers, for security guards, for front desk officers, for bus assistants, for cleaners, and even for caregivers. Now I'm going to layer 2. Layer 2 concerning your gatekeepers are the people I call your front desk officers, your receptionists, your secretaries. Now, many of us believe we are doing fine at this level, but yet I still have a few things against us. Firstly, if you don't have a dedicated front desk office, then you have trained yourself not to be excellent. You are training yourself to lose children, to lose parents that you're not supposed to lose. Many times when you get to a school, you may not need to enter all the rooms or see all the classes. The setting and ambience at the front desk immediately tells you not few but many things about the thinking of the school owner, and many things about their understanding of excellence. Now, don't be surprised. Parents make 50% of their decision based on this. Existing parents also decide whether or not to continue with you based on the attitudes of your front desk officers, your admins, your secretaries, and even the people you have placed at one position, one desk, one exalted desk or the other to be seen before they see you eventually. If you don't have an idea of how a modern front desk should be set, please Google the internet for samples, or hire a business or school corporate decor expert to help you. Your front desk must be exquisite, it must be welcoming, it must be exciting to behold, but above all things, it must be crystal clean and peaceful. Remember, there is no harm in copying. Visit schools you admire and see their setup. Compare with your own and do something outside the normal. Please don't say it's expensive. I can't spend. You will still spend on something or the other. Spend on things that will boost your value before your customers. Spend on things that will save your image and make it look better before those who are already having one issue or the other with your school. Now, how about the front desk persons themselves? Yes, that's the main thrust of this lecture. Let me tell you this. Do you know that your front desk people should be those with the best communication skills? Why do I say so? They determine the fortunes of the rest of us working in the school. Now, remember that this category I'm talking about here includes your admin, your HM, your bossa, and your principal. They are all front desk persons or gatekeepers at one level or the other. Make sure they are not those who take so much pride in bouncing off prospective business links, all in the name of protecting your interest and following instructions. Make sure they are people with little or no personal issues. Otherwise, they will transfer aggression always on your prospects, your benefactors, your parents. Of course, everyone has personal issues, but front desk officers, and in fact every productive employee, have mastered the secret of being happy and expressing it despite all odds. Now, make sure they are not people who nurse grudges against you, the visionary, the owner, else they take off their pound of flesh from you by being rude to your parents. Above all, let the front desk people feel the favor and goodness of being an aid to the boss. Let good things flow to them from you as such that they just love you and want to grow with you. Now, don't put anyone at your front desk with sentiment. After employment, please train and retrain. Their attitude is their biggest selling point. Your school is in God's hands, I know, but it's in their hands too. There is power at your front desk. The attitude of your gatekeepers determine how many children will stay or will leave your school. Many times your academic quality is superb, but these little things make people decide rashly, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with that person in that school because that person is there, I'm not going to be there. Very recently, we were having a training in the school, and a school owner told me that just as she was about to employ a principal, and this is true, just as she was about to seal the employment of a new principal for her school, One of our parents walked by and tapped her by the side and said, "Madam, are you trying to employ that man? Oh, this man did this and this and that in the last school she's coming from. No problem, go ahead. If you employ him, I'll just take my children and leave." Now, what I'm trying to say is this: you must be very, very careful before you appoint people to gatekeep, to be gatekeepers, to be front desk officers, to be security guards, or to be admins in your school. It goes a long way to determine how many children stay, how many will leave, and how many new ones will come. You should not be losing children unnecessarily. I'm glad you attended this class, because after this class, we're going to be waiting for our big lecture, which is titled "How to Run a School Free of Debtors." It is coming up on the 17th of May 2019, and the venue is right on our mobile platforms, both Android and iOS. If you haven't subscribed, please, if you haven't paid your subscription fee, please go ahead and do so. I know you don't want to miss this lecture, and I don't want you to miss it too. Subscribe also to any of our trainings for teachers. We have leadership, attitude, skills, and ethics, the one we bring to your school and train all your teachers and solve peculiar problems. Also, what I want to encourage you to switch to Thinkalike School Management Software. It has so many features, and for now, it is Nigeria's largest school management software with over 1 million students currently using it. I'm glad that you came once again. I'll meet you again in the next class. Thank you very much. Remember, in this class we treated why parents change their children's schools and what you should do to avoid population decrease. And this is a third part 3. Thank you very much.